Picture this, you're at a social gathering, you spot a beautiful girl across the room, you decide to approach her, and as you walk over, your mind starts racing. You're searching for the perfect opener, the perfect joke. You say something, but it doesn't land. She gives you that polite, distant smile, and instead of slowing down, you do the opposite. You start talking more, you start explaining, you start trying to perform. You turn into the guy who's doing everything he can just to be liked. We've all been that guy, and it's exhausting, but more importantly, it's completely unattractive. Because at some point, I realized I was looking at attraction the wrong way. I started noticing something that completely contradicted my previous understanding of charisma. At different events, in different rooms, there were always one or two men who barely spoke at all. I honestly can't remember a single sentence they said, but I felt them. People naturally stood closer to them. Conversations seemed to orbit around them, and women, especially high-quality women, were clearly drawn in. That bothered me, because if attraction was about what you say, why were the quietest guys often the most magnetic? So I started paying attention, not to what these men were saying, but to what they were not doing. And that's when it clicked. There is a form of charisma that has nothing to do with talking, entertaining, or performing. It's silent, it's physical, and once you understand it, it's surprisingly simple to build. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what creates that kind of presence. But first, we need to remove the habits that destroy charisma for most men. Here are the 7 laws of silent charisma every man needs to understand if he wants to attract without trying. 1. The law of the unmoved. Most men completely misunderstand what confidence actually looks like in high-pressure situations. They think it means sticking your chest out and physically dominating the space. It's not. True silent charisma is defined by the absence of nervous energy. It is the anti-reaction. Think about the average guy. If a waiter spills a drink near him, or an awkward silence hits a conversation, or someone tests him with a snarky comment, he immediately jumps. He reacts physically, he twitches, he laughs nervously to fill the silence. He gets defensive. The silent operator is the rock in the chaotic stream. This isn't about ignoring real danger. It's about not letting social noise hijack your nervous system. Practice delayed reactions. When chaos happens around you, take a literal 1-second beat before you move or change your expression. It signals deep internal stability. It tells the room, nothing here is a threat to me. That level of grounding is incredibly magnetic because it makes everyone else feel safe around you. 2. The law of visual tension. You can make eye contact feel attractive or uncomfortable, and most men choose the wrong one without realizing it. Have you ever noticed how some people's eye contact feels intense in a creepy, predatory way, while others feel incredibly magnetic and warm? The difference is subtle, but huge. If you just stare into someone's soul without blinking to show dominance, you don't look confident, you look like a sociopath. You need to break the tension without breaking the connection. Attraction lives in movement, not fixation. So in order to create movement, we use the triangle gaze. When you are listening to her, or in a moment of silence, don't hold a dead stare. Look at her left eye for a second, then her right eye, then down to her lips, and back up to the eyes. This does 2 things. 1, the movement keeps the gaze dynamic and non-threatening. 2, glancing at the lips is a universal, silent sub-communication of desire. It escalates the tension without you having to say a single cringe-worthy pickup line. It's a subtle loop that draws them in. 3. The law of territory. If I watched a silent video of you walking into a room right now, would I think you were the owner of the building or a guest hoping not to be noticed? Most men shrink themselves physically. They cross their legs tightly, they fold their arms to protect their torso, they hunch their shoulders forward. Without realizing it, they're signaling, I am small, please don't look at me. Silent attraction is about comfortable expansion. It's about claiming your space without forcing anything. And the easiest way to access that state isn't through posture tricks. It starts with where your attention is pointed. Here's a mental framework that works surprisingly well. When you walk into a room, imagine you're not there to be evaluated. You're there evaluating the room. Not judging people, not acting superior, just moving through the space as someone interested in buying the damn place. That single shift changes your energy immediately. Your body opens up on its own, your movements slow down, you stop trying to disappear. From there, the body language becomes natural. When you stand, your feet stay grounded and shoulder width apart. Your chest stays open without effort. When you sit, you lean back comfortably. You take up space because you're not trying to escape it. And all of this happens without you thinking about body language at all. Your attention is simply on the space and what it's worth. 4. The law of deceleration. You don't look nervous because you lack confidence. You look nervous because you move too fast. Nervous energy is fast, confident energy is slow. If you want to instantly appear more grounded and attractive, you have to change the speed at which you exist in the world. Think about the classic cool guy archetype in cinema. James Bond, Thomas Shelby. Do they rush? Never. Jerky, rushed movements signal anxiety, a fear of time running out, a need to please. So if you want to become more charismatic, then start by auditing your tempo. Slow your walking pace by about 20%. When someone calls your name, don't snap your head around, pause for a beat, then turn slowly and deliberately to face them. When you move slowly, you send a silent signal. I'm not reacting to the environment reacts to me. Now, everything we're covering today is the visible side of silent attraction, the physical cues people can see. But if you're listening to this and thinking, okay, I can slow down my movements, but inside I'm still panicking, then the foundation needs work. You can't fake the outer game forever if the inner game is unstable. That's why we built the Confidence Code. It's a step-by-step program that shows you exactly how to build real confidence from the inside out. Not motivation, not theory, a clear blueprint you can actually follow. It breaks confidence down into concrete actions and internal shifts, so these behaviors become automatic, not forced. It's linked below. Now let's move on to law number 5, the law of absorption. The biggest mistake you're probably making in conversations is thinking about what you're going to say next while the other person is still talking. You're not listening, you're just waiting for your turn to speak, and people can feel that immediately. True silent charisma is the ability to make the person in front of you feel like the only person in the room for those 2 minutes. Not because you're saying the right things, but because your attention isn't split. When she's talking, be fully present. Don't scan the room. Don't rehearse your next line. Don't interrupt the moment with your own thoughts. Your nonverbals do the work instead. A slow nod, a relaxed posture, focused eyes, a subtle, genuine smile. All of that communicates one powerful message. I'm confident enough to let the spotlight stay on you. That feeling of being truly heard is rare, and because it's rare, it's addictive. People won't remember every word you said, but they will remember how it felt to be with you, and they'll associate that feeling with you. 6. The law of the void. We live in an era of chronic oversharing. Everything gets posted instantly. Every thought, every achievement, every detail. That's exactly why the most magnetic thing you can do today is stop oversharing. When you meet someone you're attracted to, the instinct is to unload your entire resume to impress them. What you do, where you've been, who you know. That doesn't create attraction. It kills curiosity. Think of it like this. Be a book with a closed cover, not a flyer handed out on the street. This doesn't mean being vague or awkward, it means being intentional. If someone asks what you do, don't give a 5-minute monologue. Share the essence, not every detail. Then let the conversation breathe. Give them enough to be interested, not so much that there's nothing left to discover. Curiosity needs unanswered questions. When you don't rush to explain yourself, people lean in instead of tuning out. Mystery isn't about hiding, it's about pacing. And when you pace how much of yourself you reveal, you become someone worth paying attention to. 7. The law of signaling. You can master every psychological trick on earth, but if you fail this one physical standard, your charisma immediately hits 0. Before you open your mouth, your appearance has already spoken volumes. This is not about wearing expensive designer clothes or being born with model looks. It's about intentionality. Are your clothes fitted or baggy? Is your hair sharp or messy? And when someone steps closer, do you smell good or neglected? These are silent indicators of self-respect. You cannot expect others to desire you if your appearance screams that you don't even value yourself enough to handle the basics. It's the foundational layer of silent communication. Get it right. If you look back at everything we covered, none of this is about impressing anyone. It's about removing the behaviors that quietly signal insecurity. Silent charisma isn't something you perform. It's what's left when you stop trying to be liked and start being grounded in yourself. When your reactions slow down, when your presence settles, when your standards rise, people feel it. Not because you did something flashy, but because nothing about you feels needy. Practice these 7 laws consistently. Drop the performance and let the silence do the heavy lifting. If this helped you, hit the like button so it reaches other men who need it. And if you want a step-by-step blueprint for building this kind of confidence from the inside out, check out the confidence code linked below. I'll see you in the next one.